for Team Ignite. We are going to be talking this week about, I had a couple of events that I did over the weekend and then one on Monday night. So I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about those events and then sort of what my aha moments were, I guess. Maybe not very aha, but just wanted to sort of share my thoughts on the events. And then talk about, there's been, for the last probably 6 months, you guys know that we've been talking about how to kind of work with our unique market. And I think it's not revolutionary, but I think I have something that is going to work for us. So I just kind of want to talk that through with you guys. And then we had talked about our business opportunity meeting before, kind of worked on that over the summer, and I just don't think it's working for us. So I sort of modified it into more of a sales presentation, so sort of a cross between having a party, which we're not really doing anymore, and having a workshop. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I just love your feedback and ideas. And then I'm going to talk about some different ideas for presenting products and just selling more CEO kits, which I'm sure everybody wants to do, right? So this past weekend, I was at a traditional retreat. You guys know I'm not a traditional scrapbooker, but I've been doing this particular retreat for, I don't know, maybe like 5 years or so. I actually don't remember how long I've been doing it, but it's been a while, maybe even longer than that. And then I also had a Busy Moms workshop on Monday night that I did in conjunction with a lady from Beyond Organic. So just to kind of give you an idea, at that traditional retreat, I had our Memories for Life product, I had Heritage Makers, and then I had a small little section of essential oils and a small section on healthy body pack. I did have some of my old jewelry that I sold when I was in Park Lane out, and that actually sold like crazy, which then I was thinking next time I might bring more of the Marissa Kenson jewelry just to showcase that a little bit more. And I also had, just in general, like I had the brand brochures and stuff to sort of talk about how, you know, we're representing all these different things. So just to give you an idea of what sold, I had 2 essential oils CEO kits that sold at the event. 3 people signed up for Aroma Share Club, 2 Healthy Body Pack auto ships, 1 transformation kit with the Slender FX, the body trim, and all that. And then I didn't bring very much inventory at all. In fact, I only brought 2 7-inch trimmers, and they both sold. And I don't think that anybody else even wanted one, so I don't think I needed any more than that. I did sell 1 big trimmer, a travel collection, both the paper and the borders and the journal boxes, and then a Halloween collection. Only a couple tape runners and refills, quite a few pieces of the Heritage Makers word art. I just had brought those 11 by 14 prints. I made some of those and brought them in a few of the Countdown to Christmas calendar pages. So I kind of put the pricing next to approximately what my group volume, you know, for those pieces were. And if you look at the essential oils, obviously that sold a lot better than the scrapbooking stuff. And if you look at it in general, at a scrapbook weekend where it was all traditional people, I sold way more of the other products than I did of the scrapbooking. But I did sign up quite a few new, you know, $10 people and preferred customers, and I'm sure there'll be more sales from the scrapbooking side of it, but truly people were more excited at this weekend about other stuff. So then on Monday, I had this Busy Moms holiday workshop, and it was the first time we had done it, so we didn't have a lot of people there. There was only about 10 people in the room, and a couple were already distributors. But from that one workshop where I only had 3 customers that came, the rest were either distributors from my team or they were Beyond Organic herd distributors or customers. I had 1 person sign up with the Essential Oil CEO kit, which we didn't even talk about at that event. It's just been a further conversation. 1 person got on the 14-day Get Real program that we talked about, and 2 people joined as Heritage Makers customers. So in looking at all of this, I sort of learned that scrapbookers are willing to buy more products from the other product lines. And why is that? In a variety of reasons, but really, you guys already know this, that everybody really cares about the health and wellness. The essential oils are a ridiculously hot topic right now. Like, everybody was just giddy about them at the weekend. Everybody wanted to make, you know, just all the different recipes. The Aroma Share was really, if I would have focused more on essential oils, I think I could have sold a ton of essential oils. I just wasn't prepared for that. showing was way more powerful than talking about it. So I just want to share, a couple of you have already heard my story from the weekend, but I had, this wasn't until Saturday night too, and had I done this earlier in the weekend, it probably would have just completely been a different result for the weekend. So Saturday night at about midnight, we had like a buffet of food. Of course, we had to eat 24 hours at a scrapbook event, right? So we went out to go eat, and one of the gals was like laying on this couch practically in tears because she had like this sciatic nerve issue. And I had my results now kit sitting back there, and we had been talking about it. So I said to her, like, I've never actually done the results now on anybody. I've seen Brenda Wright do it. I've seen Leanne King do it. I've been promoting it. I just have never actually done it on anybody. So I told her, I knew her, and I said, I have this thing back there that a lot of people have said has helped them. If you're willing to try it, I'll use it on you right now. You can be my guinea pig. And she was in so much pain. She said, absolutely. So we went over to her work area, which was right in the middle. I mean, there was like, 120 scrapbookers in this room, so it wasn't like we were off in a corner or anything. And had her take off her socks. We put the first oil on, had her drink her water, walk around a little bit, and she was like limping practically because her back hurt so bad. But she came back and she was like, gosh, I kind of feel like I felt a little bit of relief, but I'm not sure. Put the second oil on. She did the same thing. She's like, oh my gosh, I think I feel a little bit better. By the third oil, she actually put the third oil on, and like I've never read this booklet really before. I'm guilty. It's mission right here, and I know that she had never seen it before. And she said, I feel like something just shot up my back, like my nerves just loosened up or something. And when I looked down, it was Ravensara, and it actually said that it impacts your nerves. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is just crazy. And so she starts walking around, and she's like, oh my gosh, I feel better. Give me some more, give me some more. So we did all the oils, and by the end, she said she could still feel it, but 100% improvement. And then she went on smiling, and she started walking around, just so excited about it, telling people. So then more people were coming up to me, and this one's, I got a stiff neck, can I try it? And I have a pain in this part of my foot, can I try it? And so I left it there for them because I was tired. Isn't that terrible? I should have stayed up till 4 in the morning, working with these girls. But by like about 1:30 or so, I had we had already saw the results in the woman with the stiff neck and the back, and there was a couple more that were going to do it. So I left them the kit, and I went back to bed and came back in the morning, and they were like 6 or 8 of them were just raving about it. Everybody was talking about it. 2 of them signed up as CEOs right then, and they were just, everybody wanted to buy the Results Now kit. Another one of the girls on my team took it home that night on Sunday night to use on her mom, and she said her mom had great results too. So I'm sharing that story because, one, I really, really feel passionately that this Results Now kit really does work and has an amazing impact. And also that I think, showing it is so much more powerful than actually talking about it. Excuse me, and I wish that I would have shared about it earlier on in the weekend and not waited until Saturday night when we were all spent. So the other thing is that, this is nothing new, you guys already know this, that the scrapbookers that came from Creative Memories, they have loaded up on all that old inventory, so nobody needed cover sets. A couple people, talked about getting close to needing refill pages, but for the most part, nobody needed those either. Even the tape, a couple people even needed tape because they had already got some previously. And the only things that they really were asking for were embellishments to finish their pages, but they were pretty stocked on their supplies that they needed. Now, the digital focused customers that I had there, which were only a couple, I had 6 or 8 people that were my digital customers that came. They were really, they were excited about all the different fun new projects, the pop-out cards and stuff, but they were really heads down trying to finish their calendars for that deadline. So, that was really all they were really focused on. The traditional customers also completely loved the idea of all those essential oil recipes and the hands-on. So I think that's such a nice transition because most of our traditional girls are pretty crafty, and Kristen Goodman is, you guys know my upline Kristen, she is phenomenal at coming out with these little marketing ideas and different fun things. So one of the things that she came up with, and she just shared this, I'm going to show you guys. Oops, not this one. A stocking stuffer party, and she is making some essential oil things and those cute little candies that you can do. Somebody posted this out on Infusion. So she is doing a workshop in her house where she's letting people make there's a peppermint sugar scrub recipe that she found on Pinterest, and she's going to share that to me too so I can share it with you guys. And she's also done some essential oil soaps that she's been giving to one of her friends that's selling at a farmer's market down in Naples, but she said that's another thing that you can make pretty inexpensively, and they can do it hands-on and get some ideas on how to use the essential oils. And they make really great little stocking stuffer gifts. And then these candies have been really, really hot too. So she's going to have different stations set up to just focus on making all of these. 50 cents a letter for the candies, and then I think she said, yeah, $15 to make 3 jars of the peppermint sugar scrub and 2 Mr. bottles. And she priced it all out, and she has all the websites to buy all the supplies, so I can share this with anybody who's interested. But I really think that our traditional scrapbookers will really totally get into this because they're already hands-on, and they really like that kind of stuff. So after kind of, sort of thinking about this, doing on it over the weekend, and I know you guys know we have talked so many times about how we can have our way, and we talked about a business opportunity presentation, and we can just never make it feel comfortable. And I really thought about, how we're unique, and our group is different. And part of it is that we don't focus on a single product. There's a lot of the group that came in from Creative Memories that really is focused on our memories for life, and that's the only thing that they want to do, and that's not us. And even though I'm a total digital scrapbooker, I'm in love with these essential oils and with the weight loss products, and I'm even dabbling a little with the MK Collab, which I never thought I would do, but I'm, playing around with the clothes and the jewelry and the makeup. I mean, we love many of the products. So all of us don't have that single lane that we're focusing on, which makes it a little tricky to do a presentation because our presentation changes depending on who we're talking to. One of the other things that we're really unique is that we're not leading with a business opportunity. We're growing people into it. And I know that some of the top leaders they've told me many times, oh, you can do it that way, but it'll take you a lot longer to get to the top. Well, maybe, gosh, I can't believe I'm recording this and I'm saying this out loud, but most of us don't care if we make $1 million. We're happy to service our customers. We're happy to make enough to support our families, to have a mission to just make each other feel good and just have fun. So I think it's okay that we're growing our business maybe a little bit slower than some of the other people that are skyrocketing the top, but we are making money and we are having fun. And I like that we're not out there knocking people over the head to, join as a business and letting them grow into it when they're ready. So we're a little bit different in that way. We're thriving at retreats and large meetings. The home events just aren't working for us. Inviting people to our house in a party setting never really worked for us in what we do. But we can get people to these retreats and these large meetings. I mean, we are that's our thing. We can get 50 people or 100 people in a room really easily, and we might only be able to do that a couple times a year. But I really think that if we start working with each other and, inviting each other's customers to each other's crafts, that we could have way more crafts to attend, because I know over the weekends, I mean, we probably had 25 of them going on last weekend just in the Michigan area that I knew of. So this is like a large opportunity for us to continue focusing on these retreats and the large meetings. And I kind of talked about before that we don't really have that one presentation. We don't have that, this is what we say every single time, which makes it a little bit more difficult for us. But I was trying to, I'm going to come up with that in the next couple of slides, just come up with more of an outline with variations to our presentation depending on which one of the workshops you want to focus on. And I really think using that Youngevity Your Way brochure as our guide is going to be the ticket for us. Now, we might have to make another iteration of that brochure. So that was the first one that we kind of whipped out really quick. But since Kristen has most of the pages she designed herself, she's got them all, and we can change those up pretty easy. But I've been sharing that with people versus that humongous catalog that Youngevity has out there. And also, sometimes even just handing them 6 different catalogs, it's so overwhelming to people. But being able to hand them just that one brochure as our guide has been working really well for me. So the other thing that I think we're kind of unique is because we like to teach people. That's just in our blood. We are just all teachers. We teach them to fall in love with the product, and then we grow them into the business. So I don't know if anybody has any comments or feedback or anything that you want to share about that, or Andrea, if you have anything you want to comment. And again, you guys know I'm a leader that is not at all worried if I say something crazy. If you want to tell me I'm completely off, just tell me. Share whatever. If there's anything that you want to add to that, or
Anna, I would agree just with what you said about, just a couple crops that I've went and visited for some of my team people, just in the last couple weekends. It seems like everyone's having crops. That it really was just sharing and talking with them and teaching a little bit, just like you said, and that feels comfortable. If that feels like, even Mark came with me, and he's been talking to scrapbooking women for years, right? And so he's used to being around all those women, and he came, and I had him share his story, and he was the one who actually talked about the CEO kit and why to buy it. And he did a good job, and he's so comfortable just talking to people that understand tape runners and trimmers and photo splits, because that's all he's heard for 22 years, And he said, I find that way easier than sitting down with someone and saying, hey, how much money do you want to make a month? I think the coffee shop interview is a great idea, and I love how Tom does it, but I don't think that that's comfortable, like you said, for a lot of us to share it that way.
Right.
I agree.
That's what we've been struggling with. We just keep trying to find, we're watching what all of these other leaders are doing, and we're trying to take one of those and plug it into our system. And we already have a system. We already have something that works for us. We've just been trying to make it work in a different way with how all of these people are doing it. But I think if we just tweak what we're already doing, we're going to find success. We just have to change our words a little bit. So, good. Well, I'm glad that I'm not totally crazy, because sometimes I do these things late at night and I think, was I dreaming when I was writing that? Was I fully awake? But I must have the best ideas when I'm half asleep.
But I think that's okay. It's okay that we're writing a new way, because they've never had thousands of people come into this company that have so much experience with what we've done before. They've never had such a totally different way of marketing their businesses, and through workshops and parties and hands-on make-and-take type of things. There's thousands of us that have come in with that mindset, and it's okay if we have to do it another way. If you're comfortable with, the coffee shop interview and telling someone, hey, you can make $1,000 a month and starting there and then working back towards the product, that's fine. But for many of us, the product is our lead, and the excitement and the personal story about what you like and what you're using. And I would totally agree that people were so interested in the oils. This is a hot topic right now. We need to get educated because people want to know, and they're like, oh, want to have a party? And I'm like, what would we do at this party? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, I guess we could bring oils and rub them on ourselves and see how we feel. But I mean, even just the idea of coming up with how would we do that with the Results Now kit, or making some of these sugar scrubs or mister bottles, or how to help your husband stop snoring by setting this beside the bed, or whatever, different things that we can make like that. And I think that's what's going to appeal to our customers. And Anna's right, they will shop.
Oh my gosh, they were so excited about the oil stuff that is the new thing that I really, really have to focus on for the holidays right now, and even past that. And we're each going to have a different lane of things that we're in love with. So I love the weight loss stuff. I really enjoy selling the Body Trim and the Slender FX and the Healthy Body Packs, and obviously I love Heritage Makers. But I think the oil, I thought maybe the makeup was going to be it for me, because I do like the makeup, but no, the oil is so fun, and just so many people they were all hugging me, because they're like, I haven't slept in 6 months and I can sleep tonight, and it's just amazing to feel wow, I had something to do with that. It was really, really, really instant too, which is that instant gratification. So everybody was looking for that, and it was very powerful with the oils. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that too towards the end of this, but I did want to say one of our other challenges, so we're unique, obviously, coming in with the stuff I just said, but then we have the challenge that we have 2 totally distinct groups of distributors. We have all of these past Creative Memories consultants, and they truly have an edge because they have an existing customer base, and referrals from those past customers that are in. So a lot of us came over, and we had a group of a couple hundred people that we talked to on a regular basis that we were selling to. But now we have that new longevity rep, or maybe a past Creative Memories person that didn't have a huge business that is looking to expand, and we can't just say, well, go ahead and have a workshop and invite 50 of your customers, because they don't maybe have 20 customers, or they don't even have 10. So we're trying to blend two different groups of people into our presentation. And so that's been a little bit of a struggle too, where these new people need to work on their relationships with people that they already know, work on that list of 100. So it's like bringing a brand new consultant onto our old teams at the same time that we're teaching our teams that already have all these customers how to integrate into this new system. And that's been one of our challenges, I feel like, too. So I don't know if, whoops, a little too far. If you guys have any comments on that, but that has been one of the things that I feel like we've been really, really struggling with. So I feel like right now,
I mean, like Joan Schultz just said she loves this idea, that she feels like we find a need and then we fill it by sharing with people that we have relationships with, and it's a great way to share our passion about the products that we have our hands on. And
right.
So that was a really great comment.
Yes, thank you, Joan. I really feel like our thing is going to be these events. We just have to capitalize on the events. And our events are not going to be business opportunity events. They just aren't. And I shouldn't say that. The majority of them. If there's those of you out there that absolutely love selling the business and that's what you want to do, please go ahead and do that, because you will grow your business a lot faster than the rest of us if you're comfortable with that. But for those of us that aren't comfortable with that, where we're inviting people to an event solely for a business, I think this is the way that we're going to get people in, and many of them are going to jump in for a business. So I just threw out here, I think we could call them workshops, regardless if they're hands-on or not. Like we did this Mother's Workshop, and I'm going to show you the presentation from that at the end of this. And we called it a workshop, and we didn't do anything hands-on. So in the old days, workshop meant that they were coming to Scrapbook, but we can call it a workshop, and it can be just a presentation where they're learning things and they're walking away with real information, or it can be something where they do hands-on. So here are, just a couple things that I really, really feel like these workshops are going to be the key to kind of filter in all of these new people. The aroma share, obviously you can do the recipes of the month, and I know many of you are already doing that, so it's nothing revolutionary. The results now, I think that, did I just hang up? No.
No, you're here.
Okay, I felt like it just hung up. The results now workshops, I think that is going to be a really, really, really good thing for us. You invite people over that have pain and say you have pain and you want to come over and test out if these oils will work for you. And after that tonight, like people messaging me, can I borrow your kit tonight? And if it works, I'm going to buy it. Can I borrow your kit tonight? And if it works, I'm going to buy it. I mean, I probably had 3 or 4 of them. I have it loaned out to another gal today that's going to bring it back to me tomorrow. So I was considering just getting 2 of them, one so that I can borrow one out whenever they need it, and then keeping one here. And I could just say to them, no, go buy your own kit. It's $175. But just the way that we work, I think us giving it out to them, to loan it out, just like we used to, where we had our customers coming over at 10 o'clock at night to grab a tape runner off of our porch. I mean, that's how people, they just relate to us that way. So I think if we say, yeah, absolutely, I trust that you're going to bring this back to me, test it out. If it works for you, I mean, if they have no pain after they use that thing, they're going to buy the $175 Results Now kit without question. So that's another idea. I love the stocking stuffer thing. I'm not even a crafty girl, and I think this would be really, really fun. That, again, I'm going to just flip it up here so that you can see Kristen's flyer. So it's the 3 peppermint scrubs, the 2 Mr. bottles that they're making with the essential oils, and then the candy sheet that you do have to print the labels out in every single letter of the alphabet. So that would be the only thing that is a little daunting of a task, but it's just one alpha letter that you have to change. The template's out there with the A, and then you just have to switch out all the rest of the letters and print them out, and then 50 cents a candy, so the longer the name, the more they are. And she said on here she's having them prepay she's just doing it at her house, so 10 people can come, that's it. And and I'm sure that people are going to show that to people, and it's going to be like, how can I make those myself? And then that gets them into Heritage Makers. The other thing is this Busy Moms Tips. And I'm going to show you guys the presentation that I did with, her name's Angel Batten, and she is from Beyond Organic. She is the person that started the Get Real 14-day program that you can purchase on there. It's $179, and it's in the Beyond Organic section. And it's basically a 14-day plan to detox your body from all processed foods. So it's all real food that you're eating for 14 days. And right in the middle is the Sparrow V Cleanse, the 3-day. But essentially it's like, you're just not eating anything that isn't home prepped for 14 days. And my husband is doing it right now. He's, I think, on day 7, and he's down like 6 pounds. And he went hunting for a couple days, so I sent him with all of the food, so I hope he sticks with it for the couple days that he's hunting, which I think he's going to. But I'm excited to see what his results are. But that's what she focused on. And then we came together and called it Busy Moms Healthy Holiday Tips. So I talked about 3 photo traditions and 3 tips for managing your pictures, and she talked about 5 myths about food and how to manage the holidays. And we did it together, and that thought was to try and like cross-pollinate our customers so that my scrapbooking girls would come and learn about healthy living, and that her healthy living girls would come and learn about scrapbooking. And if you guys can find somebody in your area that is an expert on any other topic, it's a great way to work together. Like, after I listened to her presentation, I'm like, there's no way that I could duplicate what she did. I'm just not educated in those types of things. She's a family wellness coach, but she's not an expert in scrapbooking. So, it's a great pairing if you can find somebody in your area, and they don't have to be a top leader or anything. You just find somebody that has a business that wants to share about these different topics and work together with them. If you are interested in doing the business opportunities, I don't want to discourage anybody from doing that, because obviously that's a fantastic way to work this, and there's lots of training on it out there. Then doing the digital gift workshops where they can make calendars or cards or word art. The Girls Night Out, a lot of people have had tons of fun doing these. Glam nights, doing facials, working with the bath salts, doing makeup. A couple other things that I'm working on right now, I'm doing the healthy fundraiser, or sorry, not a healthy fundraiser, an athletics fundraiser night, where we're going to be talking to football and baseball teams, not just about the yearbooks that I had always been talking about, and the posters and the trading cards and all the Heritage Maker stuff, but somehow, working with them to integrate Rebound and CM Cream and some of the other, the older, maybe some of the coaches and stuff might want to hear about the glucogels and the bone and joint support and stuff. So having a night where you get all of the men there to talk about the sports projects, or I shouldn't even say men, I'm sure you could do this with softball teams or cheer teams or anything, but having that be a focused workshop. And then finding a way to make it be a fundraiser for whatever group you're with so that you can have it be a win-win for everybody. And then I have the new journal. I shared it on the team leadership group, and I'm just about done with it, and I'm going to share it with everybody. I'm sending it over to Sanjeev and to Bill and to Dave to take a look at it, but it's a 9x6 wire-bound Healthy Body Challenge journal for them to track everything that they're doing through their 90 days and have a before and after. So if you can get a group of people, this is part of what I'm going to focus on for January in the weight loss, is getting them committed and then meeting up once every other week, or even if it's just once a month, and then pulling out the journals and talking about the challenges, the recipes that they found that were awesome, something that they're doing with exercise, or whatever it is, just getting back together with that same group for accountability, for support, and then using those journals as one of the things that kind of cross-promotes the product lines as well. So I'm not talking about hosted events. We're not doing hosted events anymore. So nobody's getting host credit. You're not giving away anything. You're just either going to a free place like the library, or if you can find a hotel that's really cheap that you can do in the event app, or your own house, or you can go to somebody else's house that wants to pull this together, and you might give them something, a little thing that you made in Heritage Makers, or something with the essential oils that you made that's inexpensive as a thank you for hosting. But there is no host credit in this anymore. That's not at all what I'm talking about. It's not back to Party Plan, this is just getting people together to learn something and to do something fun. So does anybody else have any other ideas on anything here that you want to share, or different maybe groups that you've worked with, or different things? If you do, just chime in, Andrea, you can tell me.
Yeah, there's not anyone that's answering that question specifically.
Okay. So for the presentation format, this is pretty much it for the outline. It isn't anything, like I said, revolutionary. Just come in with your story, sharing the Youngevity story, unique selling points of Youngevity, whatever product or passion you're excited about right then, sharing the opportunities that we have to join as a CEO, the $10, or the preferred customer, and then working with them on the close. And for your story, you really want this to be short, a couple minutes. I mean, that's one thing that I definitely agree with Tom Schnaut when he talks about that coffee shop interview. Nobody wants to hear you talking about yourself. They want time to talk about themselves. So just a couple minutes to introduce yourself, share from your heart why you're here, what your passion is, and move on. This should be a really small section. I would love to add to this that if you could do these things with somebody else, it really works well when you have more than one person doing it with you. Like working with Angel, having two different people, two different personalities, two different stories, I think it works great. So if you could have somebody else that's doing the presentation with you so you're not solo, I think that that's another thing that I would definitely the REIs talk a lot about edification, and when your friends really believe other people before they believe you. Same with your family. I mean, we know that's how it works. So when you have that other person there, it really is going to help the credibility of the entire presentation. And then I would say no matter what you're doing, you have to talk about Doc Wallach for a few minutes. So when you're sharing about Youngevity, even if they're there for the mineral makeup, they're there for the oils, they're there for the heritage makers, regardless, they have to know that this guy is traveling 300 days a year to spread this mission because he believes so passionately in it. He's got 40 years of experience. He's been published more than 75 times. He's in the Smithsonian. And Have Some Dead Doctors Don't Lie CDs there because somebody in that group is either going to have heard of them, they're going to be intrigued by this. It is going to open opportunities for the healthy products, whether or not you're ready for it, it's going to happen. So you have to talk about Doc Wallach for a couple minutes in there, and then go into the Youngevity story. That it's been in business 17 years. I think it's really important to mention that they're publicly traded, that they're growing like crazy right now. They started off at a $16 million company, and in the last 2 years, they're up to $120 million, and you might finish higher than that this year. I mean, this is the momentum stage. Really focusing on the fact that we're a healthy lifestyle company with many brands, and that we have a business plan that's really focused on transferring where you shop rather than selling products. We aren't a party plan business. We're not a business where we take orders from people. We're a business where we teach people to purchase products that they enjoy from themselves at a wholesale price. So if they love the oils, they go buy it from themselves. If they love the scrapbooking, they buy it from themselves. So really mentioning that a couple times throughout your presentation so people get it, that they aren't just going to walk up to you and go, well, I want to buy that kit. How much is it? And hand you their credit card. If they do that, you're going to explain to them that they're going to purchase it from themselves because that's the way that this business plan works. And we have more than 2,000 products. So there's plenty to choose from. There's just something that everybody will love. And those products are all coming from the fastest growing industries in the whole world. So we've targeted in on things that everybody is going to have something that appeals to them. Our mission, I just made this up, so unless I heard it somewhere, I could have heard it somewhere and copied it, I'm not sure. But really our mission is that we want to give your body the right stuff inside and out, body, mind, and spirit. So some of the unique things about Youngevity, obviously, Dr. Wallach, with all his experience and passion, there's nobody else that has him out there. And they have said over and over again that we're the Amazon.com of the health industry because we have so many choices that fit everybody's needs. And we have super high quality products with a money back guarantee. So there's no risk for them to try these things. But probably the best part of all of Youngevity is just like in our past business, it's the distributors. We're here to serve these customers and we're here to serve our team. And if they want to go to GNC and buy their products, they can do that. But a lot of times they're not going to get somebody that is invested in them as we are, because we're going to see these people again. You know, there's going to be a relationship built. And Youngevity has really focused on strong personal and family relationships. That's really a part of this Healthy Lifestyles company. And that's how the scrapbooking and the fashion and all of the ideas of the workshops come in. It's a way to teach you the ways to enhance your body, mind, and spirit. So not just to sell you the products, but to really give you the information and to teach you the things that you need to know in order to utilize those products. And then as soon as so you're going to talk about yourself, talk about Doc Wallach, talk about Youngevity, and all of that might take 10 minutes. And it's not going to be a really long talk. So maybe that's 10 minutes, and then you're going to pick the product fashion. And this was the part where when we had worked on this over the summer, we had that long list of, okay, we're going to sit everybody in a group, and they're going to sniff the peppermint oil, and then they're going to drink the Rebound, and then they're going to look at a scrapbook, and then they're going to do this. And I kept thinking, like, oh my gosh, this is going to take like hours to get through all of this, and people are going to get overwhelmed because we're like shifting gears, but we want them to have that hands-on, and we want them to know that there's all of this other stuff. But I really feel like you have to kind of narrow your focus and pick the lane that you want to really focus on. So, and it might be different every single time you do this. You really have to look at your audience and what's going to resonate with them. And I feel like I did a terrible job of that over this weekend, because had I really known what my audience would want, I would have had 3/4 of my table be essential oils and a small section of the table then the scrapbooking stuff. So you really have to focus on what the audience that you're talking to is interested in hearing. And obviously the products that you're passionate about. So there has to be that overlap of things. So if somebody came up to you right now and they said they wanted to hear about the Marissa Kenson fashion line, and you've never even taken a peek out of it, that's when it's time to try and find somebody to pair up with, because that's not your passion, but you want to get that person hooked in somewhere. So maybe you attend a workshop with that person that someone else is having that's focused on that. And the same goes with, you might not have anything to do with the weight loss stuff. It's not your thing. But you know that I'm over here doing the weight loss workshop, so you plug your person in. So make sure that whatever you're doing, it's something that you're passionate about. You might have your passion be 2 or 3 product lines. So which one of those is your audience going to resonate with? And then pair up with somebody else for the things that maybe you're not as passionate about or don't have as much experience with. And then going right hand in hand with that, you have to have a story. And we had made that My Stories challenge. It's still going on, and you guys, there's still a month in it if anybody wants to join in. So, there's still time. You have to have a story, because when you have that story, it's so much easier to sell products when you have a story. Whatever it is, if it's about the scrapbooking, if it's about the oils, if you've had weight loss, if you've had just anything. We have some of the gals that have been on the Sweeties products that have been able to get their type 2 diabetes under control. We have so many stories with the osteo. We have tons of stories with the osteo of people that have had just so many things that have been feeling better on their bodies from drinking the osteo. So whatever the product is, pollen burst or body trim, just something that you have a personal, powerful story to share. And if it's none of the health products, because that's not your thing, then have a story to share about some of the photo products, just whatever it is that you have that powerful story to share. And then think about if there is a hands-on opportunity, because people always enjoy having interaction with the audience. So if there's a hands-on opportunity to add in, and make sure that you're providing lessons or tips in the training, because that provides all that extra value. So if somebody does come and they don't purchase anything, they still got value from that event. So they're going to tell somebody, well, it was a sales event, but I didn't buy anything, and it still was a great event for me. I learned this and this and this. So really all we're doing is we're turning these events into workshops. And people will come to a workshop so many more times than they will come to a party, or they'll come to a sales event or a business opportunity. If it's a workshop where they're learning something, more people are likely to attend. And then once you get through the hands-on part of it, then they're going to start asking the questions about how they can buy things, or how much does this cost, or how do I do this? And that's when you're going to talk about to purchase the products and share. And I always say for a referral fee, because most of the people that are coming aren't looking to make $1 million. They just want to know how they can get the products for cheap or make a little bit of extra money on the side. So the first thing I share about, and this is how I've been doing it most recently, is that I talk about it's $10, you place your order, and then we get you on an auto ship that's $50 or more, because you're going to have free shipping every single time the product comes. That $10 is getting you a lifetime membership to the wholesale prices. You're not going to get rich, but you're certainly going to get your products for less. And that's like almost the exact words that I say. You know, you pay the $10, you get your products, we get you on an auto ship, $50 or more, no shipping. You're not going to get rich, but you have that lifetime membership to get stuff at wholesale prices. And then you kind of see how they respond. And then if there's somebody that's like asking questions about, well, how much money am I going to make or how this would work, then you can talk about how, well, you know, you can start a business with this too. That's just option one, that you can get this little referral fee. But we do have the CEO Mega Pack for $4.99 that also puts you on an auto ship where you're going to get those free products. And you're also having the lifetime membership with wholesale pricing. But now, instead of just this little referral fee, now you're in a position to earn a full-time income and receive all the CEO training that we have at a really reduced price, lots of training. And that kit that you're getting is like, consider it like a family pack or a sample kit, because everything in it is something that you're going to need and you're going to use in your business. So if you find that someone is not falling into one of those two categories, then you can talk about the preferred customer, and there is going to be people that are like, no, 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 I don't want either of those. And be happy for them. Let them enjoy the products that they love at wholesale prices. And they're going to forgo their referral fee if they do that, and just make sure they know. I would say to them, if you don't pay the $10, that referral fee is going to get paid to somebody no matter what. The company is going to pay it out. So if you don't take it, it's going to come to me. If you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. So you make your decision if you're comfortable or not comfortable doing that. And 9 times out of 10, they'll pay the $10, but there is that number 10 that's not going to do it. It's okay. Let them come in and they count for your group value. They get the products, and most of those people convert anyways. And then you have the close. So you're going to talk about those options, about how they can, choose what they want to do. And most certainly, if you say something like, if you love everything that you saw, the best deal, hands down, is always the CEO kit. If you're doing a presentation on the essential oils, that CEO kit is phenomenal. I don't know if you guys have taken a peek in there, but it's like $750 worth of stuff that they're getting for $500. They're getting the Results Now kit. They're getting the 8 blend kits. They're getting a whole bunch of additional oils, a case, CD, they're getting 10 Results Now booklets, some aroma share flyers. I mean, it is a great deal. The other thing is the Healthy Body one. I think you guys know what a great deal that is. They're getting all the 6 packs, 2 months of the Healthy Body products, the CM cream, another great deal. So I would focus on that. The other thing is to say, and if the $4.99 just isn't in your budget right now, the next best deal is doing the $10 plus an order and then your auto ship. You have a no-risk 30-day money-back guarantee on the product. If we have any current incentives, that's when you would want to talk about it. If you were doing a scrapbook workshop, you for sure want to talk about the Holiday Your Way 10% off additional thing right now. And then about the clubs. The nice thing about the clubs now is we don't have to do any complicated math. It's so awesome. And then you're always going to have those individual conversations at checkout, and you're going to look for signs. First off, you're going to assume that everybody's going to join with the $10 with the order and the auto ship unless they tell you otherwise. And you're going to work with them to get to that goal because that really is the best deal for them. And if they're spending $270, $310, you're going to want to bring up the CEO kit again because they just might not have got it when you talk to them, but if they're putting that kind of money out, it isn't that much bigger of a leap to say, hey, just think about this, because if you're spending this much, you can get this much more if you move to the CEO kit. And if they're not ready to order and they need to think, which there is going to be some people like that, it's okay. You schedule a follow-up. These are people that you'll see again. You'll meet with them again. So just schedule that follow-up appointment with them. So I'm going to show you just a quick presentation that we did for this Busy Mom Holiday Tips Workshop, and we're going to be doing another one of these because now that we didn't have very many people that came to this one, partly because we didn't promote it a lot. We had never done anything together before. We just on a whim decided to try it, and I think we were a little nervous that we didn't know how each other was going to work. So once we did it, it worked out great, and I think, I think you guys really could benefit from pairing up with somebody in your area. So what we did was we offered a free workshop focusing on the Beyond Organic 14-day Get Real plan and some holiday heritage makers things. We each had 30 minutes to talk and about 15 minutes for questions. And she focused on 5 myths about food and was selling the $179 Get Real. I had 3 holiday traditions that I've taught for years in my family, and to all my customers, and then 3 tips with photos and memories, and was focusing on selling clubs. So this is I can't redo what she did. She was great with her 5 myths about food. It was really good. That's all I can say. It was just a lot of really good information about calories and how to navigate holiday parties and so forth. And then I popped in and did mine, which I think I have to close this presentation and open this one up. And I'm guessing that most of the people on this webinar are scrapbookers. Oh, I guess it wasn't. It's not going to let me do it with this one, so hold on one sec. So none of this is going to be revolutionary to you, but just so that you can kind of see what I did. So I did the introduction to myself. Oh, there it goes. So you guys all know me, so I won't do this part, but I love, love, love Christmas. That's like I'm just a total junkie for the holiday. I will do everything all Christmas. My kids think I'm insane because we do so many things in December. So that was part of the reason why I really like doing these kinds of things around the holidays. But I was focusing the whole workshop on to start where you are and don't feel bad about what you haven't done in the past. She talked a lot about that with the food, and I just wanted to encourage all the people that it's the same for our photos. If you have not done anything for your 17-year-old son, you can't feel bad about that, but you can focus on helping your 6-year-old daughter get her books in order, and we'll have a goal to get your 17-year-old son caught up. But don't, worry about what you haven't done. Just focus on what you can do going forward. And then we were going to work on having a plan and sticking to it. And just like with weight loss, if you fall off, start again and don't look back. So my 3 traditions, and again, I just talked about why I love doing stuff for the holidays and why this is the perfect time to get started. It's just such a time for family traditions, photo opportunities everywhere. You're going to be at get-togethers with extended family and sharing stories, all that nostalgia and family bonding. But it can become stress and anxiety because everybody's trying to be the perfect Pinterest mom, and we're all extending ourselves beyond our available time and getting overwhelmed and spending too much money. So this was more or less like take a breath, find a couple traditions that you can do that aren't overwhelming and things that can really bring joy to your family. So I talked about, you guys have all heard me say this, about my holiday mugs, and I think I have 7 of them now because I started when Sam was born, where I focus on that sharing photos and memories doesn't have to only happen in a scrapbook. There are so many other meaningful ways that you can do that, and it doesn't take a lot of time or a lot of money. Just a couple of projects that you could make that have a big bang for their time. And I showed them my coffee mugs, and I said I started this because once I had that 3rd baby, I had a hard time keeping up with my scrapbooks, and I was getting stressed out because I love Christmas, and I always had this great Christmas scrapbook, and I wasn't able to pull it off anymore. So I started making a mug with 4 or 5 pictures of Christmas on the mug, and then every year we made a new one. And now when we drink our cocoa or we have our coffees, every day throughout all of December, we're pulling out different mugs, and sometimes we're pulling them out all together, and you're looking at pictures from 2008, 2007, 2010, and remembering, that's the year that this happened, that's the year that that happened. So it is a fun way to share your stories for under $20 for the mug. And then I talked about the ornaments that, again, those become a tradition that everybody buys once they start, where they just put a new ornament on their tree every year. The calendars being on sale, we talked about that. And then the other one that I do is I make metal prints. Now, the 8x10s are a little harder to sell here because they're a little bit more expensive, so I'm hoping someday we'll get the smaller ones like we used to have, because I have one every year of the kids with Santa Claus, and then I decorate the mantle with that every year. And I have done that for years with Halloween too, where I have them in their costumes up on the mantle, so when people come over, they naturally go like, wow, how did you make that? So it's just a fun conversation starter. But having those on the mantle, every year they can see what they look like, and it just again brings out all of the memories. The second tradition is we do an advent calendar in a storybook. So every day in December, I take a picture and tell a story and put it inside of the book. And then at Thanksgiving, we pull them out and we flip through, and the kids go, "Oh my gosh, we have to do that again. That was awesome." And then they look at the next one and they go, "Mom, never again. That was like the worst thing ever. Don't make us do that ever again." So we can kind of, laugh, talk about the different things that we did throughout the holiday, how we celebrated it. It's a time to talk about why we celebrate it. And, we take pictures of, just not just decorating the tree and making the cookies, but pictures of when we go to church and different masses that we've attended, or it's pictures of lighting the calendars for the 4 weeks of Advent. Even building snowmen outside, watching holiday movies. We have to watch Elf every year, so I took a picture of the Elf DVD, and that's on one of the pages. So, just doing these special things, it doesn't have to be something that, is like all decorative. It's just a picture and a couple words, and you put it on a page. And then the third one, I'm not going to even talk about this because you guys have heard me say it a million times, but my letters of love to the boys, where I just write a letter every year to them. Sorry, my throat was getting dry, and then put a picture in. So I passed all that stuff around, and then we went into the tips. And my first one was just, you are never going to be caught up, so stop stressing yourself out about it. With digital cameras, there's just no way. We're taking 1 million pictures, and you're never going to sort, categorize, and document every single one of them. Just let it go. Release the guilt. Let this be a joy to look at your pictures and not an anxiety, because I know some people just won't even start because they think they'll never be caught up. And obviously, I took a little more time talking about this because I had a half an hour, and I'm doing it on like massive speed mode because we only have 5 minutes right now. But then the second thing is I talked about deleting bad photos right away, because this is another bad habit that so many people have. They take 30 pictures of the exact same thing, hoping that somebody had one of those 30, everybody had their eyes open, but then they don't go back and delete them. If you just take 2 minutes right when you did it and just delete the ones that are obviously bad off your camera as you took them, that's going to save you so much time in the end. And then the last one was about backing up your photos and printing them. Because whether you're doing them digitally or not, you have got to print them. If you're doing it digitally, that's great. You're going to have the whole storybook printed. But if you're not doing that, you have got to print some pictures, because the next slide is, what's the first thing that people say when they, run out of a burning house, is that they would grab their photo albums. So I looked up just how many house fires happened in 2012. Is the census had 365,000 house fires in the whole U.S. And I was kind of joking around, and I'm like, I would guarantee that in Oakland County alone, more than 365,000 people have either dropped their phone in the toilet or lost their hard drive and lost all their pictures. So if you put it in perspective, if our photos are that precious to us that we would like run into a burning building to grab our photo albums, why are we not backing them up and printing them? So I ended with, making a plan. What are you going to do different in 2015? Which of these projects appeal to you so that I can help you get started, and getting them on to, and I did have some cards out there too, so I put the HM Quick Card site up just to kind of get them moving along, either, on some project. So that was all we did, and I thought we had a pretty good response to it. I don't know if anybody has any questions, or Andrea, if you have anything that you want to comment.
Well, I love it. Like, that was great. I mean, that's a great outline, and that's what some people wanted, was the outline. So hopefully they took screenshots or jotted some stuff down, because that was really helpful to just kind of run through those things. And even if that's not like your exact example, you didn't make coffee mugs and you don't write a letter to your child, you can copy that, or you can take one of the ones that you already do, because there's so many,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could totally pick whatever. You could take this outline and you could have it be the essential oils if you wanted to, but it felt pretty good to have like just no more than 3 things, that you're focused on, and, and then just some tips that make it worthwhile for them to come. And she had 5 myths about food, and then she just had 1 product that she's selling, the Get Real. But, you could do whatever you want. I mean, the one I talked about a few weeks ago with the calendars, that was a hands-on where they were coming to do the calendars, but I was kind of integrating in the peppermint oil and the diffuser and the triple mint lip balm, Beyond Organic lip balm, and you just grab a couple other products and integrate it in, but don't overwhelm them with 50,000 things, because then it gets to be too much. Well, somehow I managed to finish all that in an hour. I'm pretty impressed with myself right now. I didn't think I was going to be able to power through that fast.
Well, with a ton of info, I'm sure we're going to watch it again.
Yeah, and you guys, like I said, we're trying to perfect this, so I am like totally up for comments and, what do you guys think we could change or tweak in the presentation part? Like the, I have to close this one to open this. This outline. So in what I just did, what I would have done is I stood up there and I shared my story, and that was that first slide. And we actually shared the Youngevity story in the very beginning, so before we even said who we were individually. So it was a little bit out of order because there was two of us presenting. So I just quick said, I'm Anna Byrne, this is Angel Batten, and we are with Youngevity. Youngevity is blah, 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 blah. So we talked about that first because of the format, and then I shared my story, the product passion, and then she did her story, the product passion, and then you do the opportunities in the close. So that's kind of how it works. But if you guys have suggestions on something that you think would work well, or something that you've done, a different workshop that you've done, I'd love to hear it. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and I will put the recording up as soon as this is done and share it with your team. All right, thanks for joining. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Anna.
Bye. Thanks, Andrea.